So it's day 50 of the Iran war. Straits of Hormuz, long been a centre of this conflict, has been closed since the start, was opened up in response to the ceasefire being called in the Lebanon. Although the Iranians claimed it was fully open, which on the left-hand side they claim it was, if we look at the screen itself, the actual minefield that was positioned here meant they had to route traffic, and it clearly wasn't open to all the American forces either. But at 9:30 today, the Iranians announced that it was now closed, largely due to a US blockade that's out over the Persian Gulf. By early afternoon today, there were reports that a tanker had come under fire in the Straits of Hormuz. 2 IRGC gunboats were allegedly responsible for that. We understand that there were no casualties and no damage to speak of from the vessels. But it was clearly a demonstration of Iranian threat. But of course, some of the vessels, when you look at the strait not being open, there's still a few vessels around. Some of these are pretty large. They've got some momentum and it would take a while to clear. But the Iranians just making very clear that their threats are sincere. It was followed by an announcement by Mujtaba Khamenei to say that the Iranian Navy would inflict a bitter defeat on any vessels going through the region. All of this, though, is a demonstration that Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, not, as President Trump had claimed, America, and also not, as President Trump had claimed, that actually Iran had said that they wouldn't close the strait again. So where does this leave the prospect of peace talks? Well, the ceasefire is due to end on Wednesday. Negotiations will probably be conducted over the weekend, but unless the peace talks start again on Monday, very little prospect of peace. Now, Trump has always claimed that Iran has no cards to play in this negotiation. But the Strait of Hormuz, the Bab el-Mandeb Straits, all of which show that Iran has a significant amount of leverage. President Trump overnight issued a whole series, 7 tweets, 7 social media outbursts in an hour. That prompted the Iranian Secretary of Parliament to turn around and say none of those were true at all. So on face value, it looks like there's a significant gap between the two sides, between Mujtaba Khamenei and President Trump. But it is clear that both sides are motivated to get to some sort of peace deal. America will be focused on the nuclear program and also the enrichment of uranium, and will probably use unfreezing Iranian assets and also the prospect of sanctions relief to provide some time. But from the Iranian side, time is clearly on their side. President Trump needs an off-ramp and much quicker than the Iranian leader does. And almost certainly what we're heading towards is some sort of memorandum of understanding, because the nuclear debate will not be solved in a matter of hours or days. Last time this was done, it took 20 months to do. A memorandum of understanding will have a significant amount of ambiguity, will allow President Trump to walk away with declaring victory, but likewise for the Iranians. Meanwhile, across in the Lebanon, the fragile ceasefire seems to be holding at the moment. But Prime Minister Netanyahu has always claimed that that doesn't stop him responding to self-defence if he's attacked. The challenge, of course, is the whole of the operation that Israel's doing in southern Lebanon is allegedly under the grounds of self-defence. So, in reality, this is a real test of the relationship between President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu. Can President Trump maintain control of Netanyahu? If the 10-day ceasefire holds, that might provide a window of opportunity for President Trump to seek a peaceful end to the conflict with Iran. But it's pretty clear that Prime Minister Netanyahu has unfinished business against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon.